Hey, Kirk, what's up? Welcome to Burn the Ship. Burn the Ship podcast is an entrepreneurial podcast. We love our audience and everybody out there to learn from your successes, learn from your failures, some do's and don'ts of the industry that you're in. And I'm going to open up the floor, give it to you. Tell us a little about yourself and your business.
Okay, so my name's Kirk Halpern. I'm the founder and CEO of Farmers and Fishermen Purveyors. Farmers and Fishermen Purveyors is the hottest leading in the industry of seafood and meat distribution to restaurants, hotels, as well as home consumers, which people can pull up and see what our offerings are on our website, which is www.farmers, plural, A-N-D, fishermen, M-E-N.com. And we rock and roll with the best of them. That's the company that I'm the CEO and founder of. You can tell by the gray hair, I've been around for a while. This is actually my third entity, so you could almost say I'm a serial entrepreneurial. My first company, which I did with my father, actually was his company, which was Buckhead Beef Company. You'll now see the trucks running around at Buckhead Meats. I started with him in '89, stayed with it through in '99. We had a liquidity event. Left 2005. I started my second company, which was Halpern Steak and Seafood. Grew Halpern's real big. Year one, 12 million. Year two, 74 million. Year three, 135 million. 10 years in, we got up to 405 million. We had a liquidity event, did an earnout, did 18 months of non-compete, and here I am with Farmers and Fishermen Purveyors.
Nice. Where do you source the protein? Where do you source all the stuff?
So we are local and we are global. So what we've had the most fun doing is bending the supply curve. So what we do better than anyone in the marketplace is we'll find something very neat and cool or superior to what's been seen, and we figure out the logistics to get it into Atlanta so we can get it out to our customers. So imagine this. There are fish that are swimming right now deep south in the waters of Patagonia. That fish will remain swimming, will travel by boat, well, in the cages, in water, travel by boat for 28 hours, but they're still swimming, get harvested, get fabricated, get transported in a truck to Santiago Airport today, and we will be delivering that into the restaurants in greater Atlanta by Thursday. How cool is that?
So it was swimming 3 days ago.
Still swimming right now. Still swimming.
Now. So it's 24 hours away from swimming then.
Yeah, still swimming right now. And we're doing the same thing, whether it's in Patagonia, we're doing the same thing with fish that's in the East China Sea or the Sea of Japan that comes out of Narita, Japan. And then also out of Japan, I'm flying in and bringing in Japanese A5 Wagyu that, boom, once it clears customs into us, I'm bringing fish coming out of Bronzini out of Spain or Turbo out of Spain that's flying here. So we've developed a way to get product here quicker, faster, better, that's more beautiful for our customers at the same price.
Yeah, that was always Buckhead Life Group thing, is what they'd always say is their fish, whatever you eat was swimming yesterday. They'd always say that. So I thought, and you could taste the freshness of all the Buckhead Life Group's restaurants compared to other people.
Well, Pano Keratasis, his brother Nico Keratasis, Anavili Pano Sr., they're some of the best restaurateurs and operators in this city, in this region.
Oh, yeah.
But we're blessed with a lot of great operators that do a great job in providing great meals for the dining public in our region. And we're happy to be partners with many of them.
Well, there's more than likely I've eaten a lot of your food. Yeah, there's more than likely, because me and my wife are foodies, and we go We go to basically all the restaurants in Atlanta and have eaten.
Well,
And I lived in Buckhead for 7 years, so I went to a lot of restaurants when I lived there. So there's more than likely, I've dined on your protein.
well, Jay, I take that as a compliment from you. I don't want Ezra to say that because he doesn't look like he has an ounce of fat on him. Okay, so you need to
Well,
start
I
diving.
think it's more like here's what I think, Kirk. I think it's more that I'm 44 years old today. Today's my birthday, and he's 24 years old.
Yeah.
So the older you get, the better the restaurants get. You know what I mean? And really, when I was 24, I didn't really care. I'd go to a nice restaurant, probably once a month, twice a month.
Yeah,
but for the most part, I'd grab a Subway and be just as happy.
Right. And then, and Kirk, speaking of, kind of how you guys are transporting and getting protein in, what is the number one source of protein for you guys?
Oh, that was like asking Tiger Woods, which was his number one girlfriend, and that's what got him in trouble. But we do a great job in seafood and meats. So in seafood, it could be, I'd already mentioned salmon, bronzini. It could be sea bass that's coming off of the coast of Antarctica. It could be, but it could also be Gulf snapper, grouper coming out of the Gulf, or coming from fishermen that we work with off of the coast of South Carolina. It can be our oysters that we're pulling from Canada to Maine to Cape Cod down to the Chesapeake Bay, or it can be on the beef side where we're bringing in from the north east corner of Iowa beautiful corn-fed Angus type cattle, or some of the most beautiful Wagyu that's coming out of Westholme out of Australia. I mean, that's a ranch that has 16.9 million acres, just virgin land with beautiful Wagyu cattle. So this is what we do.
What is I read an article that was you're gonna know, you've forgotten more than I'll ever know about this, but that Brazil is kind of taking over the cattle industry. Is that true?
Not true. Brazil, actually, you don't see Brazilian product here because they've had some challenges with foot and mouth. But what I will tell you is the Batista family that we want to talk about self-made entrepreneurs out of Brazil. There was a point in time when the Batista family bought JBS Swift here in the United States. This is what I would tell you.
No way.
That while the Japanese and the Koreans do not necessarily want our cars or radios, we as a country are the best producers of beef in the world. Similarly, a lot of our agricultural products that come out of the United States is the best. We don't cherish as much what our farmers and what our agribusinesses are doing, but we are a powerhouse in this country.
Nice. Now, what about transportation? How many trucks do y'all got? And because that's probably that's a business in itself, really. Is transportation, trucks, and all that.
So, Ezra, I'm sorry, Jay, great question. I'm still trying to think on how to put some meat on Ezra. We do business with some of the football teams and programs, so we know how to get the right.
Kirk, do not get it wrong. If you put a steak in front of this dude's face, he's going to eat every bit of it and then ask for seconds.
Okay.
The guy can throw some food down. He's fresh off a career in baseball. So,
there you go. So, in my previous parts of my career, I was a big truck guy. So I'd have 53 footers. I'd have big box trucks. After our liquidity event where I sold my previous company with my equity partners and I did my earn out, I had 18 months of a non-compete. And during the 18 months, I was doing two things. One, trying to turn and say, what do I want to do next? Which then became Farmers and Fishermen. And the other thing I did is I really looked at and gave some deep thought to looking at the model and saying, is the model right or should the model be broken? And what I came down on the transportation side is there is a shortage of Class A and Class B drivers.
Sure.
The drivers are aging out. They are there's not a pipeline of them. There is a barrier to become a Class A driver. Most of the guys have to spend $10,000 or $12,000, and people don't have $10,000 or $12,000 to go to driving school, and you got all these other requirements. Plus, insurance is astronomical for a truck because if someone crashes into a truck, the truck driver is going to be found at fault, and fuel prices are crazy. So the move that I made is I turned around and I went real heavily into initially Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. Because what that allowed me to do, one, I was supporting a local company because Mercedes is local from my perspective. But what it also allowed me to do is it allowed me, one, to increase my amount of my mileage per truck. So I'm getting 18.6 miles per gallon, less of a carbon footprint, which is good for the environment. But the great thing is I'm able to take people that were maybe working in the back of a kitchen, maybe working part-time, teach them and train them to deliver on vans and vehicles. And now it creates economic opportunity for them.
Sure.
And it gives me a lower basis cost because a Class A driver is someone making $130,000, $150,000. And now I can end up having a transportation network where it is more affordable. And one of the great things is about 1 out of every 3 of my drivers are women. So I'm able to embrace and have women drivers, and some of the women are driving 3 or 4 days a week because they have home obligations or other things. So instead of them driving Uber, they're driving a nice air-conditioned Mercedes Sprinter van.
What is so are they still employees of you, or are they 1099 or
No, I take great pride. You'll see it in all the awards along the desk of
nice.
I'm a pace setter, 2 years in a row, Atlanta Business Chronicle of 2 consecutive years of well, actually it makes it 4 consecutive years, but 2 times being a pace setter award, which is top line growth, but also is growth in number of employees. And then at the same time, I'm also a multi-year winner from Atlanta Business Chronicle, as well as Atlanta Journal-Constitution on best places to work. So I love, I mean, my drivers, my folks, I mean, they're all part of the family, and we're building a great business.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll tell you, we're bigger on the environment here at this office too, and I don't want 200 people. I want the right 20. And that's really where we are in our business too. But we appreciate you being on here. So the next steps is me and you're in Atlanta, correct?
Yeah, our operation's based in Norcross, Georgia, but I'm an Atlanta guy.
So the next steps is me and Ezra are going to meet you at one of your restaurants that you sell to, and we're going to eat a steak and some seafood.
Well, if we're also going to open a bottle of wine with.
Well, absolutely,
yeah.
Let's do that. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you for if they want to if you're looking for jobs or hey if there's a restaurant out there and says hey I want to start using this guy's products. Tell us how to get a hold of you.
So I'm going to shoot you with a couple of quick answers. One,
sure.
You want the money to stay in the community. I mean, I'll give you an example. There is in Athens, Georgia, I have a direct competitor that's from Birmingham, Alabama. Now, I think there is a disconnect of where you turn and say, I don't think that a University of Georgia student really wants to be supporting a guy out of Birmingham, Alabama. Okay,
I agree, totally.
Okay, now, I mean, I just believe that. And so to me, I know I put an emphasis on buying local, buying small, buying from as many family farmers as possible. These are good and appropriate questions for somebody to say, hey, where do you get your food? Where do you get your stuff? Is it coming from out of state guys that are just trying to take dollars from the state and move them out? Is it coming from multi-billion-dollar companies? And I think there's a lot of chefs who really care about it, but not everybody. So the more that a consumer asks is good. Second, I'm always hiring. Okay, so you go on our website, I'm always hiring for great people. What am I hiring for? I'm hiring for coachability and heart. If you got coachability and heart, that's what I'm looking for. I mean, we could develop the skill sets. Third is most restaurants in North Georgia we're doing business with in some form. But quite candidly, I have some good contemporaries, some good competitors. They're all good people, and hopefully we're all supporting the marketplace. And if you ever want a home delivery during COVID-19, we fed a whole bunch of people during COVID, and I still have many customers that say, "Man, I want to have a great steak on my grill. I want to have a great piece of fish on my grill." Or on my flat top. You go onto our website and you'll be able to place those home delivery orders.
Well, we appreciate it a lot. Thank you for your time. We'll do another podcast in 6 months to a year and see where you are at that point, and we'll go from there. But that'll be after we eat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely have to have a sit down. One of the restaurants that you're servicing for sure.
All right, and Ezra, you now challenged me to put some fat on your bones. Okay.
Look, exactly. Look, you're talking about it. Let's be about it.
All right, sounds good. Take care, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Kirk.
Yep.
Thank you.